Okay, so we're gonna go over how to do hair and makeup for like classical ballet performances for boys. So every boy has like a different haircut, but the main thing on the hair is that it is gelled down to where there are no flyaways and it's not gonna like fall on his face like while he's dancing, because that could be dangerous and it doesn't look neat. So I start by just taking a whole bunch of gel. It doesn't really matter what kind you use, you just need to get like the highest strength. Like don't get the low strength, get the highest strength they have. And I just take the gel and just kind of rub it in all over. And then he's got a hair part right here. So I just part the hair and gel that part down and then gel the other part over this way. And I use like this type of brush, but I guess you could use any brush. I just like this one. And you start to just kind of brush it out so it's smooth. And even if they had like long hair or whatever kind of hair they had, the main thing is just down and neat and away from their face and not like flopping. And you can add more as needed when you see trouble spots. And I use quite a bit of gel, especially because sometimes it may be like an all-day performance thing, and you can touch it up as the day goes too. So once you get it about how you want it, then you're gonna take hairspray. I use Big Sexy Hair, but you can use any kind that's just, again, super, super strong. And you're just gonna spray over the top of it, all over, and that just kind of gives you a nice set, you know, kind of helmet almost over the gel that you already put down. So it's really not gonna move. The way his hair is, that little piece right there tries to get in his face, so I'll like really glue that piece down. We need more gel on the back. And this way, even when you're pulling stuff over his head, like costumes, it's probably not going to move. But when you're doing hair and makeup, it's always a good idea to already have them in a button-up shirt or some kind of shirt where, you know, they're not going to have to do it over their head if they can avoid that. Okay, so that's the hair. So he pretty much does as much hairspray and gel as girls do for dance. Okay. Oh my god, that piece is still not staying where it's supposed to. Okay, so then once you get that done, I got my hands off. I always have baby wipes nearby for this. But I mean, I've done makeup in the car, wherever. Just gotta make do. Okay, now you're gonna get Next, you're gonna do moisturizer. And I just use this oil-free Neutrogena moisturizer. It doesn't really matter. If you have a younger kid, you know, some of this stuff is not as important as for teenagers because teenager skin is usually a little bit more problematic. Make sure you get the neck just as much as you get the face. Why is your hair being so drama today? Then you're gonna get foundation. I use this CoverGirl True Blend. You wanna make sure that it matches their skin tone. It can go a little bit darker, but you don't wanna go more than like one shade darker. And I just pour out about that much. And you're just gonna dot it. And make sure you get the neck too. And once you get it on, you're just gonna rub it and blend it. Actually, you should do ears. I know that a lot of people think that's weird because women don't do ears, but a professional nail dancer gave me that tip and it does look better. And you just want to blend it in really good, all over, full coverage. If they have like really clear skin because they're younger or they just don't have problems with that, then you could probably do less. We have to do quite a bit to cover his skin. So I'll usually go back after I get the first coat and do a second coat. And in one of his dances, he actually has like a V-neck shirt, so I'll even put a little bit down here where his neck is, because that shows. And the key with makeup for stage is that you're actually wearing quite a bit, but it doesn't look like you're wearing it once you're up on stage. Like up close in person, you're gonna tell they're wearing makeup, but on stage it really does not look like they're actually wearing it, which is the goal. But you can actually see them. Eric is super pale, so he needs even more. If you have a darker complected child, you may not have to do as much. You just have to kind of gauge it. His hair is still not doing like it's supposed to. There. Okay, so once you get the foundation on, then you're going to get cover up. And if your child just, you know, doesn't have any blemishes, you can literally just do the under eye. You take where the dark circles are and just swipe and swipe to cover those. But if they have blemishes, you've got to cover those too. And you just dot on the concealer where they need it. And just get a concealer that matches their skin tone. But it'll have a slightly yellow, more yellow tint to it, which helps cover it. And once you get it on, I just dab it with my finger. Just kind of pat it and dab it. And that just kind of sets it in. Because if you rub it, I feel like it just kind of rubs it off. So I'm just like kind of dotting it in place to cover those like areas that need a little more coverage. And gets rid of the under eye circles. And if they have like a blemish or a scar that's kind of darker, sometimes you'll need to go back over and put a second coating of cover up on it. And it's just the same process, just do like a second coat. He's gonna need a little bit more in a couple places. And something to remember about stage makeup is if it's not perfect, don't stress out about it. Again, you're not doing a photo shoot, you're literally just on stage. So with the lights on you and people sitting far back, it's not going to be a problem if, you know, something's not perfect. So do not get upset about it. Now, if you're doing makeup for a up close performance or a photo shoot and you still want to do some makeup, what you can do is you basically do the same stuff. The only difference for me is if it's a photo shoot or an up close thing, we don't typically do the eyeliner and we'll do the blush lighter. But otherwise, I keep things about the same.
Also don't have to go as heavy on the mascara either.
Right, you don't have to go as heavy. So after you get the cover up, then you're going to get, I get half this like loose powder. I just have to spray the CoverGirl kind, and I just get some on there, and then you're just gonna go over everything, and this just takes the shine down, and it also like kind of sets the foundation and the cover up in. Kind of gets everywhere, but that's okay. Always wear like a cover up, like a one up over your clothes if you've got your costume underneath when you're doing this, so you don't get makeup on the costume. Okay, so you can do that, and that's open. I'll keep this somewhere else. Okay. Then I do contouring on him, so what I do is I'm just using this little nude contour palette, and I take a brush, and you're going to go get like a darker like brown color, but not super dark, just a little darker, and you're just going to brush it upward strokes right here on the jawline, and you're not going to do it super heavy or super dark. It's just, but it actually does make a difference. Use upward strokes right on the jawline. Then you're going to take some and do like this just around the forehead where like the hairline is. Then you're going to get a smaller brush. I use this one, and you're going to do the same thing but just right here on the side of the nose. And that just kind of makes his nose look smaller, and the contouring is just about like thinning their face, but also like it just adds a little more definition. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Then you're gonna get blush. We use, his competition team all have the same color, so we went and got the same color just to match them. But it's a one from, I don't know, called Blushing in Ballet. We use the peach color. I go with like a peach. You don't want to go with like a red or something. And you're going to do it, if you're in person, do it very light. If you're on stage, don't worry about getting too dark. I mean, you don't want to have like giant like stripes like you're painting it, but you know, you can do it fairly dark, especially if you have pale skin like he does. And you're going to just do that on the cheekbone, upward strokes. Okay. I think you need more cover up on some spots. Hold on. Then we're going to do the eyebrows. If you have a blonde or a redhead, you're going to need to do this really heavy. It's actually going to look kind of silly up in person. You're going to think, oh, that's way too dark. It's not. When they're on stage lights, on a big stage, it is not too dark, trust me. So we go pretty dark. We just use this little pencil. They don't have one specific for redheads. This one's for like redheads / blondes. And what you're going to do, you're not drawing outside the normal eyebrow. You're just going to take where their normal eyebrow is and where it grows. You're just going to do little marks like this just to color it in. If they're like a brunette or they have black hair, you really don't have to do this that much. You can just do a little bit. But if they have like, his eyebrows are pretty much translucent, see-through. So we have to do it really heavy, because if you don't, when they get on stage, it's going to look like they have no eyebrows. And it does not look good. So we do it pretty dark. If you're doing like an up close or photo shoot, you just want to do it. You still do it, but do it lighter. If you're on stage, you can be pretty dark. I'm still going to go back over that one some more because it's still not dark enough. You just want to fill in where the natural eyebrows are. And yeah, I don't feel like you can do it too dark. If you stick to like the right color pencil, you could probably do it pretty dark and it's still gonna look fine on stage. And again, it's stage makeup. You don't have to stress out if it's not perfect. But this just gives him eyebrows, because otherwise he would have no eyebrows on stage. And that looks really good. So see how it's fairly dark, and in person it would look kind of silly, but it doesn't look silly when you get on the stage. Okay. All right, now we're going to do eyeliner. Is that next? Yeah, eyeliner. For eyeliner, I just get a plain black and a plain brown pencil. You're going to do black on the top and brown on the bottom is what I do. And this is not like girl eyeliner. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to do wings or swoops or blending. No, it's just a simple little line right above the lash line. That's really all you have to do. Just simple. I start at the outside corner of their eye. Just do a little straight line right by the lashes. And that's it. It's literally just that. It's just a straight line. You don't have to be fancy. It's a lot easier than girls' eyeliner. Just a little simple line. And you're done. That's all you do. Then you do the brown on the bottom. Let's do a little simple line. Wider. And like it'll probably, as they're blinking and stuff, it'll get a little bit smudged, and again, that's okay. It does not matter. It's for the stage. And if we're doing like close-up stuff or photo shoots, we always just skip eyeliner. That's just for like big stages. Okay. Then we're going to do eyeshadow. I bought this palette because it was what the girls on his competition team did, so we got the same one to match. It's like a nude palette. And I use the brown. I use like this brown right here. It's called Cover. I use it, and I'm not gonna get like too much, but you get some, and then you're gonna sweep that right and brush it right over the bottom part of the eye. Just a little line. Again, this is eyeshadow. It doesn't have to be fancy. You know, you don't have to worry about like, oh, it's not perfect. It does not matter. Just gonna swoop it. Right there. Then I take the clear, kind of creamy one, and you're just gonna brush that up to the brow, on top where you did the brown, and then on the little inside corner of the eye. That just kind of blends it. Gonna do that up to the brow, inside corner. And then there, see, so he really isn't wearing that much, but it will show up on the stage. I don't have to put on as much as a girl would. Okay. Then finally is mascara, which is his least favorite part.
I mean, it's not finally, but.
Yeah. So I just get a black, basic black mascara, nothing fancy. So you don't have to do it super heavy, and don't do false eyelashes. They don't need false eyelashes. You're just gonna swipe it, because his eyelashes are pretty much like his eyebrows. They're translucent. It doesn't look like he has any. So you're just gonna do the black on there, just so that it looks like he has eyelashes. Look up for me a little more. And I try to get the little clumps out, but again, if it's not perfect, do not stress. Because again, he's on stage. No one's looking at him with a microscope. Up. Look a little more down there. Oh, clumps, clumps, clumps. This one got really clumpy, so I'm just gonna brush it out. And that's better. See, and I got some mascara on his like eye, and I'm not worried. I'm just wiping it. It's not, you don't have to super stress out about it. Let's get the inside corner here. You don't want to put it on too heavy, because it's more likely to smear. But it just gives them some eyelashes. Look up, do the bottom. I'm gonna take a little break. It's stressful. This part, just do the bottom on these. Just relax, don't blink. That actually looks good on that one. Okay, I'm gonna look back over it, see if any other spots. See, this eye is good. I'm not touching that eye. This one needs to do out some of the clumps. Just relax. I'm not gonna poke your eye. Get some of the clumps. There. Okay, I think you're done. I don't think we need more mascara. Okay, then he's gonna do chapstick on his lips. Just basic chapstick is fine, just so they don't look chapped. Oh, yeah, we gotta open that. And a tip is to always keep these type of makeup wipes in your bag, because the ones that are in the big pack, I think they dry out. So we just get these little individual ones, and I'll just stick, I need to put some more in there, but I stick a bunch in there, And that, like, when he's done, he can just wipe it off because he doesn't like to keep it on longer than he has to. For lipstick, you're gonna get a close that's pretty close to their actual lip shade. So like this is his like lip shade, and see how it's like almost the same color. So you're gonna get something really close to their lip color open. And I don't use lip liner. I don't feel like that's necessary for boys. I just literally just kind of dab some on. But it gives his lips a little more definition and defines them a little bit. Makes them shiny, which looks good on stage. So I don't really stress about it. Okay. Then I just have a blot. And that's all I do. And I just kind of wipe up this and the outside. I don't lipstick. It's just, you know, just a little bit. Not a big deal. And then that is everything. So then you're going to get a setting spray. And this part's important because they're sweating while they dance. They're under stage lights. Sometimes they're dancing all day long. So this just keeps it from, you know, blending, getting like sweated off. And you're just going to spray all over to get it. Then I usually just either have him stick his face in a fan or I try to like dry it.
That's not hitting me.
Until it dries. And that's pretty much it. They're done. You know, look right at the camera so they can see your face. And that's how it should look in the end. And don't stress about it. And you'll practice and you'll get better at it and it'll get easier. Okay, thanks.